Hi, I'm Heather Lancaster, Christian County Schools Communications and Community Education Director. Thank you for joining us for the Christian County Connect You TV series. Connect You TV shares with you discussion on important topics in education, shared by both internal and community experts. Topics shared by our experts will allow us to become better informed and involved in our children's education. We hope that this resource becomes valuable to you and your family, and we hope that you'll stay tuned for future episodes of Connect You as it relates to education right here in Christian County. Thank you for watching Connect You TV. Today we'll talk more about digital safety when using social media and cell phones. Today we have here with us Detective Bert Finley from the Hopkinsville Police Department and Tracy Pelletier, our District Technology Coordinator for Christian County Public Schools. Thank you both for being here with us today to talk more about this particular topic. We do certainly appreciate your willingness to share your expertise on this topic. So we know that technology today is very important. There's a lot of it. It's rapidly growing. It's used as a great way to stay in constant connection with family, friends, people in the workplace. What are some of the things that maybe you consider important for us to keep in mind when using social media, cell phones, and things of that method of communication?
Quick and easy. When in doubt, don't put it out.
Very good.
That probably gets more people in trouble than anything else, is disclosing way too much information. And particularly with younger people, they tend to not realize how much information they're revealing, especially on social media sites. And they also are, in a lot of respects, way too trusting, particularly when we're talking about specifically the media sites, for example, Kik, Ubu, Snapchat. Mm-hmm. They're pretty much anonymous. They're not very well documented in terms of verification of who you're actually speaking with. You can very easily get yourself into some serious trouble with those sites and with the people that haunt those sites.
Sure.
Well, you're creating a digital footprint for the rest of your life. And though as a student, you may start out young and you may do silly things like we've all done. But even if you try to delete them, erase them, they're permanently there. And students a lot of times don't understand, well, this doesn't mean anything to me. But years later, especially once they finish college or they're ready to look for a job, when their name's searched, I mean, anything pops up that you put out there, and and it can keep you from getting a job or bettering yourself, and they just need education on this, and this is what we're going to try to do through our school system, mm-hmm. because you can't make the assumption that they know. Right. As a parent or as an educator. We have to teach them.
Sure, you're mm-hmm. right. One piece of information, a picture, could follow you for life, and we certainly don't want that haunting anybody.
Yes.
Tell me some ways that maybe parents can do a better job of monitoring their children's online social activity. Are there some tips that you have for parents to keep a closer eye on that?
And there again, don't make the assumption that they're doing the right thing. I mean, we all want to think that our children are following the rules. But I mean, the temptation's there to look and just out of curiosity. You should always have, if they have a desktop or a laptop or whatever, it needs to be in the room with you. Mm-hmm. And you have the right to go and look on that instrument at any time, including a phone. Don't feel like you're invading their privacy. You're their parent. It's your job to do this. Even when the children are still under 18 years old, it's your job as a parent to monitor and look on these devices and find out where they're going, what are they doing. Don't assume that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. I'm not saying all of us are corrupt or bad, but the curiosity is there, and it might get them into a bad situation. So you need to have, when they're actually saying they're working, doing their homework online, don't assume that they're going in their room and doing. Have them right there with you, or go in there and check, see what they're doing. Know that they know that you're going to check.
Sure.
It's also vitally important, I think, that parents know passwords, especially passwords and passcodes to computers, to laptops, to tablets, the iPads, things like that. And probably most important now is their cell phones. The other thing is, and this kind of sounds bad, but it's been my experience in several years of computer forensics, don't ever trust what your kid says when it comes to digital media. They will have a Facebook account, for example, and they will give mom the password to their Facebook account, and they'll put them on their friends list, and they'll talk to grandma and everybody else on that account. They don't tell them about the other account that they opened. The social media, like I said, there's no verification whatsoever within any of the social media platforms. And it's very, very easy to just go around it. Realistically, kids are generally more techno savvy than their parents are. You have to educate yourself. If you look at that phone and you see an icon that says Kik or Uvu or Snapchat or any of the hundreds of others out there, and you don't know what it is, don't take your kid's word for it. Go online, look it up, see what the restrictions are, make sure you know what they're doing. The biggest problem is that a few years ago, as you were saying, it was all laptops and or desktops.
Right.
Desktops are almost gone the
Obsolete.
way of the cassette tape now. You just
Right.
don't find that many of them except in office situations. And even laptops are becoming more and more rare. It's all either tablet or 90% of it now is cell phone. If you can control the password or make sure you can get into that cell phone and then do your homework. If you find that icon that you're not sure what it is, Google it, look it up online, see what that site is, what it does, and look for anything that just throws up a flag, like if there's no verification of age. If you can just randomly set up an account without anything other than just a made-up name and a made-up date of birth, that's a flag. You need to be very restrictive on those as much as a parent can. But the only way you're going to know is get past the fact that, you have the right to anything that, especially if you're paying the bill, you've got the right to look at it.
And they won't be happy about it.
Absolutely.
They will not. And they say, you don't trust me, this, that, and the other. It's not that. Is that you are protecting them, and it's your job as a parent to do that.
And something you said reminded me, which is another major problem, and we have this probably more in the middle schools than anywhere else, cyberbullying. It's, the first defense is always, well, I was just playing. I didn't mean anything by it. As I've told more kids than I can imagine in these schools, there's no such thing as playing. If you put it out there online, somebody else sees it and somebody else gets hold of it and they join in, it ceases to be just playing when the other person don't think it's funny. That is in itself a violation of law. And there is specifically a subsection of the law on harassing communications that deals with students harassing or bullying other students through online media, through email, through any electronic means. And it doesn't have to be, for example, in the same school or the same grade. It can be a student from Christian County that's harassing or bullying a student at UHA, or at, Hoptown bullying one at Heritage Christian, or vice versa. I mean, as long as the criteria are met, which is basically a communication that has no bearing other than to harass, annoy, or in some way intimidate the other person, then it is against the law. It is. You can be charged with it. You can lose your devices again. So
and they must be aware that if they can send it out, we can track it. And we can get and find out who it is. Don't make the assumption, even if you did it under a false name. We can track the wireless internet connection, who owns that billing as far as the household, and then we can even get it further than that. Of course, we have to work with our agencies here, but just don't assume that you won't get caught, because you will. Right.
I have almost 100% success record. I know the last threats that were called into the public school system, we had within an hour.
Yes.
Yes, I can track them, and I can track them quickly.
Good. Well, thank you for clearing up those misconceptions. Great. Well, this has been wonderful information. I appreciate both of you for, again, just sharing this helpful information to our parents and anyone else who may be watching. Thank you for tuning in, and if you have any questions about digital safety or acceptable use of technology, please feel free to contact us. The credits will include our names and phone numbers and how we can get in contact with you. Thank you.